reason why you fear rejection and why you're overthinking when you are with an attractive girl is because you are dependent on the validation of her. And when you overcome this validation, you won't struggle anymore with the ups and the downs of, is she gonna text me back? Is she gonna like me? No, you're gonna overcome these struggles. And what this results is in you not holding back and in you saying and doing exactly what you want. And when you do that, you now create genuine connections with girls because you have this meaningful interactions where you're being authentic and they can also be authentic with you. So 1 year ago, I was on an Eckhart Tolle retreat in Norway. And if you've ever been on one of these retreats, it doesn't have to be a spiritual one like Eckhart Tolle. It can be any personal development one like a Tony Robbins one or Joe Dispenza. You know that you will get some impulses which you don't normally get in your day-to-day. And this is exactly what happened on this retreat. So I'm walking in the main room. It's right outside the room, the auditory where he's talking. And there's this message board. And I get this intuition, this impulse to go and just stand with the message board and just look at it. Nothing really in mind. So I go and I stand there and I'm looking at it, not really seeing anything. And that's when I hear this voice saying, Edin. And I turn around and it's this girl who I met the first day. She's also Norwegian. And we start talking, a woman comes over, they start talking, and then the guy who is the boyfriend of this girl comes over. And we start talking. And he asks me, how are you? And you know when you are being asked this question, like, how are you? And you don't really feel good, but you don't want to say it. So you just tell the person, yeah, I'm fine. But you're actually not. And this is what I tried. I was trying to tell him I'm fine, but I couldn't. And when he asked me, I was speechless. I just had so many emotions that was just trying to come up, trying to be seen. I was trying to be authentic. And I couldn't tell him I was fine. Actually, I couldn't say anything. I just started crying. And I cried. And I cried. And I was crying and he was hugging me. He's a strong guy. He was hugging me. And just removing any boundaries of shame. Because grief or crying can be something that's very difficult for a lot of men, especially today, to open up and be vulnerable about. And it was fine. So I'm crying, and then he wants to guide me because he's a coach. He's a coach as well. And I didn't know this before he was about to guide me. And what we do is something called an inner journey. And this inner journey was me closing my eyes, and he was guiding me through this inner journey. And I will tell you in a minute what this journey is about, because once you do that, you're going to overcome this need for validation. So what happened after this inner journey that he guided me through was that a few hours later, maybe just 2-3 hours later, I saw this blonde American girl that I haven't seen for the whole retreat so far. I see her and she sees me. It's like she was not there and now she is. Like something that was blocking us from seeing each other, from connecting, suddenly we can see each other. And we did. And then, so that was in the early evening. And then after the last, this wasn't a Friday, after the Friday talk with Eckhart Tolle, a lot of us go out to this bonfire that somebody made. Respect to those guys, by the way. And as I'm sitting there, I go up, I freestyle. This is another story. I freestyle for like 100 people, freestyle rap. And then this girl approaches me. And over the next couple of days, the last days of the retreat, we have some magical moments. And it was the first time in many years that I actually fell in love. Like, not like, oh, I'm deeply in love, but just like this, when you fall for someone, you're like, oh, I feel like super excited. That's what I felt. And I want you to have the same. I want you to have the same connection, the same feeling, the same authentic flow of the conversation, because our relationship lasted for those few days. She lived in another place of the world. It was magical. It was great. And I want you to have the same. So the way that you do that is by opening up these blockages and going on an inner journey. So the way that you go on an inner journey is you will go inside and you will go inside yourself and you will give back the responsibility that you have taken for taking care of her. Because somewhere in your childhood you thought that it was your responsibility to take care of her, but she is your mother. But you were small, you didn't know better. You want her to take care of you, so you thought, if she takes care of me, no, you were trying to take care of her so she could take care of you, because she was not at a place where she could take care of you emotionally. Maybe she took care of you financially, physically, like you had food, you had shelter, all of those things, yes. But there was a deeper part of you which was not being seen. So you tried to take care of her so that she could take care of you. But it's never been your responsibility. And as long as you're trying to take care of her, as long as you're dependent on her feeling good, as long as you're dependent on your mother, which is the first woman in your life, of feeling good, of giving you validation, then you will be constantly seeking the same validation in every woman that you meet in your life. Every girl. So this is why we do the inner journey. Because now you give back the responsibility of taking care of her. And now what do you think happens when you're with the girl? Well, you're no longer trying to take care of her, which means you're no longer dependent on her validation, which is now enabling you to just be as you are. You're not desperate, you're not needy, you're just as you are. You like her, she doesn't like you, you're fine, because you don't need that validation. Now, how do you do this inner journey? Well, I'll give you the steps. First, you go deeply into your subconscious. I like to imagine myself going down 10 stairs and count them. Second, you imagine yourself going into a room. You open the door and you meet your mother, your inner mother, which your outer mother is a representation of. Then you feel how it is in the room with her. And then you tell her, fourth, in your mother tongue, so the language that you're speaking, you tell her that you are giving back to her the responsibility of taking care of her. And you make a conversation like just you talking to her. And you feel how that feels when you're giving this back. And then 5, the last step, you turn around, you feel love, unconditional love from your mother, and from there you leave the room and you go up the stairs again. So if you would like a guided meditation so you can actually just sit, relax, listen to me guiding you, because I did this for my students in the paid program. So if you would like this, you can get it for free. Just click the link below. You're gonna get it in your email, and you will also subscribe to my email list. Of course, you can leave anytime you want. But if you want to overcome these fear of rejection, if you want to have more meaningful interactions and connections with women, then I recommend continuing to read them. And that's it. Now I'm gonna go have a boxing training. Have a lovely day and subscribe if you would like more of this. Ciao.